We're back for another episode.
Hey guys, we are back in the kitchen again, and today we are talking about low carb, vegan, keto, vegan desserts, and more specifically, we're talking about Good D's mixes. Now, you guys know that I'm always on the lookout for you for new companies offering low carb and keto friendly products, and today we are talking about Good D's, specifically their blondie mix. Now, I was first introduced to Good D's in a subscription box a few months ago, and this month I got another package from them, and today it's their blondie recipe.
Yummy.
So it's a pretty simple sort of setup with their mixes. They are pretty straightforward and you don't need a lot. For this particular recipe, you need half a cup of butter, or for vegans out there like I'm doing today, it's half a cup of coconut oil. Then you need 2 eggs, or for my vegan folks, we're going to use flax eggs. Now, if you don't have flax, you can also use chia. Just throw 2 tablespoons in your coffee spice grinder and then add 3 tablespoons of water per 1 tablespoon of flax or chia. So for 1 egg, it's going to be 1 tablespoon of ground flax or chia plus 3 tablespoons of water. So I have 2 here already set up, and you do need to let it sit for about 10 minutes so it gets nice and thick like this, so it can replace eggs in your recipes. Now, you can only use this replacement method in recipes that call for 2 or less eggs. If you need more than 2 eggs in any particular recipe, you can't use this. You probably are better off going out for like Bob's Mills egg replacer instead of this. It's not going to act the same way in your batter. So let's get started. So super simple, like I said, you just open the package. Open the package. Okay.
You got that package open?
Yeah, finally got it. Pour it out. Make sure it's all in there. And then I'm going to add my half cup of coconut oil. I'm going to add my 2 flax eggs here. Again, that is 2 tablespoons of ground flax plus 6 tablespoons of water. Let set up over 10 minutes.
It does look really eggy.
Yeah. You got to let it get all mucusy.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Yep. That's going to give you your binder. And then you can add your vanilla essence. Now, I never measure any sort of vanilla or spices because I don't feel like I need to be restricted that way. But if you want to, I think it's about a teaspoon. Otherwise, I'm going to free pour on this one. Yeah.
That's like 7 teaspoons.
Okay, right. A tablespoon here going on. And we're just going to mix this up. Real simple, right? Nothing to it. But because, you know, why would I film something so simple? I wouldn't do that to you guys. So because we're here together in the kitchen, I thought I would jazz up this little recipe a little bit. And so I intend to, over here, I've got a 1/4 cup of chopped pecans, and I also have a 1/4 cup of unsweetened coconut flakes, and we're going to add this to our blondies. So,
say what?
So I got my handy dandy skillet here. Again, you saw this in the last video. If you haven't seen the last video, check out that link above. And we're just going to throw in our coconut and chopped pecans. Now, this is something you really cannot walk away from. It will burn and it will make the whole thing taste bitter and nasty. So I have this over medium to high heat, and I'm just going to give it a slight toast so that way it is a nice addition on top of our blondies that we're about to pour into our baking sheet. So our baking tray here is an 8x8 brownie pan, is essentially what I call it, but it's basically a square cake pan. And I've prepared it by spraying it and adding parchment paper as per their instructions. I think this particular mix is a little soft as opposed to some of the other products that come out pretty firm for the oven. So I'm just going to pour that in while my nuts and coconut are toasting. And just pour that in nice and easy. Still keeping an eye on my coconut and pecans because I don't want those to burn. delicious. Now I'm just gonna help spread it around. You can use the back of your spoon to help you spread the batter across like so.
TVs are loud in the background.
Still watching these here. Make sure they're not burning, but I do want to get a little bit of color on it. So I've spread our batter. Super simple. Now, if you're not planning to do any sort of additions to your blondies, then basically this goes into the oven at 350 for about 18 to 20 minutes, depending on where you are and how your oven works. But since we're going to be a little special, let's be a little special here. So I've gotten good color on my coconut. You see it's a nice beige. Nothing's black. You can really smell the pecans right now. So I think we're looking pretty good on this. So I'm just going to get another spoon. I don't want to put my hands in this hot stuff. And we're just going to sprinkle it across the top. Now you don't really have to worry about the additional carbs that adding this will add to the blondies, because I only use 1 serving of each, and this blondie mix makes 12 blondies, and by the time you divide that all up, it's not almost inconsequential to the whole thing. So don't worry, feel free to experiment. And just because I want to be even more special, I'm going to take this amazing ground cinnamon, freshly ground cinnamon that I have from Grenada. Thanks our family, thanks Auntie for sending it. And I'm just going to sprinkle some of that across the top as well, because we like to be different here. So right, we've got our blondies with their toasted pecan and coconut top, and we're just going to throw this into the oven for 18 to 20 minutes and see how we do. So come back and check this out when it's out of the oven. Hey guys, so I've taken the blondies out of the oven, and I actually had to keep it in there for a lot longer than it says on the package, and unfortunately something's gone terribly magic. Unfortunately, something's gone terribly wrong. So I'll show you. I've already digged into it, but I'll show you. You see, it's like all the oil came out, and it's really flat, like super flat. But I will tell you, it does taste amazing still. And I have an idea of how I can save this, because I'm not into spending money on ingredients and items and then wasting it all. So I have a great idea for how I can still use this. So keep watching for how I rescue these blondies. So to make this peanut punch, we're going to start with our blender, obviously. And I separated, and I have 2 of the brownies that didn't turn out so great, but we're going to save them. You see how they're quite flat and a little bit oily too. They have the topping on it as well, but we're going to save it in this peanut punch. So like I said before, peanut punch is really something that comes, that's familiar to a lot of West Indians. It's a really creamy, sweet peanut butter drink. So we're just going to make that completely keto, low carb friendly, as well as it will be vegan, just because. So as my milk, I'm going to use this plant-based milk called Ripple. I have the original unsweetened flavor here. So you're going to get 8 grams of protein, no carbs, and about 5 grams of fat per cup. So I'm going to start pouring that into my blender here. I am going to pour 2 cups. So until 16, great. Then I'm going to add my 2 blondies in here just because, you know, this is a way to use it. You know, when you make peanut punch traditionally, you might add like bananas to it or some oats in order to make it thicker. Because, you know, that it's more filling that way also. But obviously we can't do that. So this is a great way to use this and enjoy some peanut milk as well. So for the peanut in our peanut punch, I'm going to use PB Fit. It's a peanut butter powder. So for each serving is 2 tablespoons. You're going to get 2 net carbs per serving, and it's a low fat, so it's 1.5 fat and 6 grams of protein. So make sure you're tracking all of your macros with this. I will include this and all the other things I'm using in the links down below in the description box, just in case you're interested in trying them out for yourself. So I want to add 1 serving of this, so that's 2 tablespoons. Right there. 2 tablespoons of that. And to that, because this is all fairly low fat going on here, I'm going to add a tablespoon of MCT oil. Just for me, this is technically going to be my first meal of the day. So I need a bit more fat in there. Nutmeg here, I'm just going to add some grated nutmeg into this. Now this, if you want to add nutmeg to it, if you want to try this out, you know, to taste. Really, it really is just to taste here. Because we're just making a fun drink. You know, I take full blame for how the blondies turned out. Maybe I went a little too far with trying to experiment with it, but I believe this is going to be awesome and delicious on its own, and it's a great way to kind of just use what I have already. As you know, ain't nobody got money like that to be wasting stuff. But the blondies, how they are now, they taste amazing. It's just that they're not as pretty as, you know, you might. The blondies do taste amazing as they are now, but they don't look great. So I'm just trying to figure out a way to use it. So I'm just going to pop all of this onto the stand and mix. So we have our drink all mixed up, and we just pour it in. Ooh. Now if you want this cooler or thicker, feel free to add ice. It's a pretty cool day today, thankfully, here in New York, so I don't feel like I need much more cooling on it. But yeah, this is our drink right here, and the taste is amazing. You really get all of the spices. You get that coconut, the pecan that we added. You taste the nutmeg and the cinnamon here, and you do get a peanut butter flavor, which is what we wanted. So yeah, it's Goodies Blondies as peanut punch. It's amazing. So again, Goodies is a good product to buy, although it did not turn out right for me this time. I do want to reiterate that this is a good buy. They do have so Goodies sells ketogenic friendly and diabetic friendly baked kits like this. So they are definitely worth trying out, and I will include a link for them as well down below in the description box. So please feel free to go over there into the description box and check out what other things they have, and hopefully it turns out better for you than it did for me this time. So yeah guys, that is it. It's the next morning, if you can't tell I changed. So I've got my peanut punch with blondie thickener in it. It's delicious. It's so spicy, and it's a little sweet too. and it is super filling. So like I said, check out Good D's, check out PB Fit, check out all of that stuff. I will leave all the links for everything that I use down below, just in case you want to try them out or check them out for yourself. So yeah, questions, comments, if there's anything you'd like for me to try, please leave that down in the comments section. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it, and you know, if you haven't, subscribe, because clearly this is real life here, folks. Real life happening right before your eyes. So anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.